Ooh, welcome to another edition of African Americans Ain't Africans, the talk show that proved without a shadow of a doubt that the so-called African American didn't find his way to America by boat. I'm your host, the indigenous one, and we got the Acromax here tonight. Ooh, some, some of the most,
Greetings,
some of the most,
Alito,
some of the,
Oseo.
some of the most hospitable, loving people you will ever come across in your life. And here to share with us tonight is Lisa Cyphers. Lisa, how you doing?
Hey, Halito, Oseo. Hi. Yeah, so what we talking about tonight? We talking about politics?
Well, this voting thing is coming back around with the Negro, and
Right,
to me, it's. I mean, I think the biggest one I've seen in my life is the night Barack Obama win the first night. I don't know if this will be. I don't follow it. But on this,
right,
but since so many of us are into this political party, this Republican, Democrat, and they also have a sister running for president. We'll get back.
right,
We'll get to that.
right,
It doesn't seem to be working. Yet,
right. So, right,
well, why is
right.
that? Why, no, but we keep playing. Why? Why don't
So
we do something different?
we do need to do something. First of all, we have to be different. And like the first thing we have to do is like we have to look at history and relate it to what's going on now, okay, and what's been going on and what continues to go on over and over and over again. The repetition. I was listening to someone who wrote a book called I think it's called The Zealot versus the something, I don't know. Anyway, it's about Lincoln and John and Jim Brown, or whatever his name was, whatever Brown it was, daggone the abolitionists, okay. And it's like that Brown character was just like the Antifa. He was fucking folks up and killing people, and he was under the guise of abolitioning, right? Being an abolitionist, like Antifa, like Black Lives Matter. It's the same daggone thing. We are repeating history. But if you actually look at that and say, well, the whole abolitionist thing, the whole everything is very similar to the actions of Black Lives Matter and Antifa today. If you think about that, then you know that historically we are in a very, very pivotal time. Very pivotal. If it's the same as the Civil War, pre-Civil War stuff, come on, y'all. We're at a very pivotal time. So we have to look at that. Look at the patterns that are repeating themselves, and then think about what did we do wrong then? What can we do different now? Do we need to have our own party? Do we need to stay away from all the parties? How do we we could tell what doesn't work. Marching doesn't work. Evidently voting for these two parties doesn't work. We haven't really seen any gains from that at all. So we need to figure out what we need to change, right? What do we need to change? Because we as a people, we're a people that we don't like a lot of change. But change is gonna happen whether we like it or not. And it always does happen, whether we like it or not. So
Right.
what we need to understand is we can drive it or we can be in the caboose. So
Right.
I think it's better to be driving to be in the back, not knowing where you're headed. So to drive it means that you have to change the type of person you are. Really, you do, because we're the type of people we lay back. They talk about the islands. Yeah, man. No, it's not just the islands. All of us of Turtle Island are laid back people. Let's be honest. We are the people that we really do want to play ball and watch ball players. We want to sing and dance and be entertained. We are very inventive. We're very creative. We're very innovative. We like to improve things, but at the same time, we don't care if we get credit for it half the time or not. And we are not really ambitious as far as wanting to have our own. Okay, we gotta change. We cannot exist being having a few people who are ambitious and the rest of us try to chill. We can't chill. We can't raise children that got chill mentality. We can't be a people like that. We gotta change the way we move because we are surrounded by parasites and predators. Surrounded. We are being eaten alive, devoured, consumed, destroyed. If you don't get some fight in you, and it's not a physical fight, it's a spiritual, it's a mental fight. Mentally, you have to change the way you move in the world and the way you see yourself, and just like and the way you raise your kids, and the way we move as people and families. It's all about the family. We have to change the way we do things. We cannot be like we can. Okay, so they come here and they're like, agenda: get a job that makes the most money and is the most secure. Agenda: if you can't do that, get a business by any means necessary and work together so everybody gets their business. We don't have that. We come and we're like lackadaisical, like, oh well, maybe they'll graduate high school, maybe they'll do this, maybe they'll do that. Meanwhile, we getting run through and run over. I'm going to the daggone BP station, and they done in my neighborhood, and they done the Packies there got the BP station, and they added another Packy family in the corner. They got a Subway in there. Brother comes in there, nice looking brother. Man, y'all got any leftover sandwiches? Y'all got a sandwich for me? Y'all ain't got any leftover? Ooh, y'all do a good job making them sandwiches. Don't forget about me. This brother should be building companies. He should be heading up whatever. He should be he could be our real president. But no, he's begging for a sandwich at a Subway from some Packies in his own land. That's where we are. Begging for a sandwich at a Subway, in a garage, in a gas station from some Packy who came across the world to take your land, take your profits, do commerce in your face while you're starving. You're starving.
What makes us not see that?
Because we like to be oblivious. We want to be oblivious. We want to be in la la land. We like to be. We like to not be non-confrontational. We don't like to be stressed or think about anything too hard, and we don't want to have to worry about nothing. But then the worries come to you anyway. They come to you. You need to be worrying proactively so you won't have worries coming and trying to collect on you. If we do the thinking and the worrying ahead of time, we won't have nobody ever worrying us. We will create the worries for the rest of the world. That's what we need to be doing. But we think by avoiding everything that we avoid any problems or worries. No, man. They gonna come because that's what they do. Because they live to get you all upset. That's what they love. Get you upset in your own homeland. Have you in a wreck and ruin in your own homeland. And you sit up there like, oh, I hope this me voting for this one or that was gonna change my state of mind. Really? Is it? Has it? No, it has not.
You were talking about voting earlier.
Right.
And
So
you were talking about how voting is a ritual. Can you explain that?
about what? Voting what?
It's a ritual.
Yeah, it's a ritual because they're not, because I don't know if y'all get the emails and the text messages and stuff, but if you look at some of them, if you read them actually, like they'll say stuff like, it's we don't know who you vote for, but we do know that you vote. And I'm like, well, if you know that I vote, then you probably do know who I vote for, probably. But either way, why do you want to know that we vote? Why is it so important that we vote, not even who we vote for? It is the emotion and the energy and all this excitement and stress that they get out of exciting us. That is the ritual. And they require the most this time, because this is a war, because this is just like the Civil War. This is COVID. Just think of it like this. COVID is a civil war. We've had is a war of 1812. COVID-19 is a war of 1812, and the Civil War is coming. Think of it like that. Think of it exactly like that, because that's exactly what the fuck it is. And in between time, you got abolitionists doing all kinds of crazy shit. You got rednecks and what is it called? Rebels doing all kinds of burning shit and acting all racist and shit. And you got these damn abolitionists trying to incite black people to riot, Negroes to riot, Indians to riot, Indians to murder. They setting up all these other scenarios to make it look like you're doing all these other things. Harriet Tubman, all this stuff. That's all like Antifa and the same thing as fucking daggone Black Lives Matter. It's all the same. And consequently, they showing you movies of this shit. Why? Cause it's all the same. Harriet Tubman ain't nothing but no Black Lives Matter. It wasn't as big and bold as it is, and it's nothing. It was just a political manipulation then, just like Black Lives Matter is a political manipulation now. Why? They're going, Harriet Tubman didn't have to damn steal all these damn Negroes away. She was fuck. Her whole husband was free. It was a manipulation because it was all money moves, just like it's money moves now. The South was gonna the secession was on the table for the South, and all that money was gonna go away, separate itself from the North. And that what the fuck the whole shit was about. It was about money, just like it's about money now.
So obviously you delved into that subject. A lot of us, we just look at it on the surface for what it is. When we do that, what are we in essence saying?
We don't care about our lives. We don't care about the lives of our children. We don't care about the lives of our grandchildren and those that come after us. I mean, we have to think and look a little deeper. We have to make moves that are good. We got to make chess motherfucking moves. We got to make moves that really count. Like, okay, so what kind of moves should you all be making? First of all, on a personal level, you need to get your shit right. Figure out real quick what the fuck you are, where the fuck how you gonna identify yourself, and make it a real identification. Don't be no fucking pamunky if they don't want you. If they don't want you, there's a lot of fucking tribes and sub-tribes of the same damn tribe. Organize yourselves, your family, under that. If you're a fucking, why is everybody a Yamasee? That's a fucking bullshit. Find a fucking real name and start getting some shit together. Choctaw? That's too big of a fucking name. That is not your fucking ID. Okay? Get it together. Find out your real fucking damn people's identification. Okay? And just get it together. Get it fucking together. Get get your affidavits done, get yourselves together, get yourselves organized, get your 503(c), and then start pushing your rights, under, let put them on notice of who you are and what you expect and what you claim and what you will not allow. Utilize the ANDRIP and the UNDRIP. Start utilizing that shit. And doing that, that's the first steps. You got to get your people to understand and to understand who they are. It's a lot of work, yes. But, you know, shit, I've only been doing it for a few years. And so, I mean, it can be done. And your people and reaching out to people. You have to do real things. You can't just keep all this information to yourself and watch it like it's great entertainment. Stop fucking being entertained. This indigenous shit ain't entertainment. It's fucking who you are. So you need to do real shit with it. Real shit. Not just see it as entertainment. You have to understand that that moves are being made. That we are in the middle of. Do you understand the Civil War is coming? Do you understand the Civil War is coming? We just had 1812. That's what this year was. Civil War is coming. You are not preparing yourself. It's not a physical war. It is a mental, emotional war. It is, you have to get yourself ready politically for this by saying, you know what? I got my people organized and they know who they are and they're identifying correctly. I'm taking care of at least those people around me, let alone all those people connected to you. That's what needs to be happening. There's people they're freaking how many daggone groups on Facebook now? Shit, 50 different indigenous groups now? Maybe more? Okay, if the people in those groups, if they actually were reaching out to their family, friends, community, neighbors, and informing them and organizing them, we would get shit done. But they're not. They're talking to each other. They're talking to each other, but they're not really talking to their people. It takes a lot of talking to your people to get them to act right. Over and over and over again. And then people are following folks that they even shouldn't even be following. People are trying to start groups. They don't even know what they're talking about. Like, they don't even know who they are.
Right.
They don't even know who they are. They sitting there like, I'm a freaking talk about they daggone airwax. What is that? You don't know where that is? You don't know that has to have real, that's not here. You know that's an island. That's what do you and then people fall into it because they like the way it sounds, I'm one of you too. No, you're not, nigga. Like, I don't understand. Like, people don't get it together.
Yeah.
Get it together.
Yeah.
Like, really, really, really think and explore your own self, and then also share with your family as you learn, and then share with your people, and then we can be informed, and then we can move forward as an indigenous people. But political party, I mean, like I said, in one way, I say, yeah, that'll be great. We got enough people that we could have our own political party, but we have to be clear on what we want. We have to be clear on what we are asking for. We have to be clear on how we're moving together, and we have to stop infighting. That shit got to stop. You always have to look out for the greater good, and the greater good in politics and in life. You know these motherfuckers don't get along. Do you know that these motherfuckers don't get along? These people don't like each other. You think Biden likes that Calamity? He don't like her. But that's what people do. Real people that are not Indians, see, we act like we can't fake it. We gotta be so real. You know what I mean? We are above faking it,
Oh,
which is fine. It's good that we're real. We like to keep it real, but the reality of keeping it real is it don't work.
let me ask you a question, because you're closer to the situation than I am. So
But
this chick, Calamity Harris, she comes to a black university, to a
right,
Negro sorority,
mm,
and she's standing at the foot of the White House.
right.
Meanwhile, they're just using sisters to confuse the masses. What is that
Right.
about? What is that about?
Man, do you understand that this is also a ritual? This is also a ritual. This is also they are showing you. This is real, okay? They are showing you that you ain't part of the party. Literally. Literally, you are not invited to the fucking party in more ways than one. The party elect and the party like, yeah, it's our party, we doing this. We're not invited. And the party in the bigger future means the future of the world. You're not invited to the future of the fucking world, is what they're telling you. And Negro Indians are okay with that. Oh, okay, it's all right. It's okay that we're not invited because she's like us. No, your kids are not like her. Being like and being her are different, because let me tell you, now whenever they have somebody representing her as a dago celebrity, they picking out the Pakis, they picking out the Istanbul people, the Istanbul folk. Okay, they're picking them. They're not picking you as being representative of her. They're even picking the damn Pagda, the damn cook from the damn Food Network. Anybody but you are representing her. And nobody's getting it because we think she's like us or we're like her. But when they select celebrities to talk about her, they selecting any kind of freaking packy person they can find. Anybody and everybody but you. So they're saying you're not invited to the party. And then I get upset. I personally get upset because I'm like, dad, they had Abrams and all these other people they could have, why didn't they use it? And then, my sister Penny, 24 karat Penny, says, oh, they had Stacey Abrams on the Wendy Williams show. I was like, yeah, what happened? Tell me what happened. Oh yeah, they talked. Wendy asked her about, how she felt about the stuff, and she was like, well, they wanted her to lose weight and change her hair, and she wasn't down for changing herself. And so, and then Wendy was like, well, you're good with, you'll probably get a good cabinet position or some good position, and she kind of acted like, yeah, that's true or whatever. But guess what? Stacey don't give a fuck. Guess what? Stacey is paid. These people all get paid. They all get paid for suckering us. She's good. She doesn't care. She does not care. So even if we care that Stacey didn't get it or that Keisha didn't get it and then blah blah, guess what? They don't care because they are our political social overseers, and they are just there to get a check and to represent us and to guide us into submission. That's what they're there for.
Y'all see
They are
Stacey?
not.
I see.
Stacey is paid. Stacey is gonna collect great checks for the rest of her daggone known descendants. Okay, she's good. Her whole people are good. All right. So we don't have to worry about Stacey or none of them motherfuckers. Okay, because they're good. So what are we worried about? Really? Because it's all a game, and we're being We're being moved around. From that standpoint, you think, well, do you want to get in the political arena with these suckers? Because it's all freaking games. See, so you can get into it, but you just gotta know that it's all freaking games. You're just playing. Like it's like a puppet show. You gotta
Okay.
know that.
So
You
which
gotta know that. Okay? Or else you're gonna get played.
so what do we do with that energy then? That okay, so like you're right, it's a fucking game.
It's
So
a game.
what do we do with that energy?
Well, there's like I said, there is the power of ignoring them. Mass. See, I feel like they can't take it when we ignore them. When we ignore them, it's like they will die. Like if we totally ignore them, if we stop when we stop responding to our political leaders and all that bullshit, it would all fucking die. Everything will fall apart because our energy is required for these ceremonies and these rituals. So I almost believe that that's probably the strongest way to go. I just don't know how we would accomplish that, but that's what we probably need to do. Um, Having our own party is another way to ignore it. It's just that you have to make sure that doesn't become defiled by them. You see what I'm saying? Uh, Even within the indigenous community, a lot of these people are brought out and sold. They get a little bit of something and then they close the doors and they shut down and they don't want to, tell anybody nothing. They don't want to share anything, So, I mean, we get corrupted, there's always that risk of corruption when you play the game with them. So that's the downside to actually let's have our own political party. Can we stay undefiled if we jump in the arena? If we play the game, can you stay undefiled? I don't know. I'm not really confident on that. But I can tell you for sure that by us being, I can tell you one thing: if we, as a political party, make it part of our party that we call them out on the game, that would be a strong move. That we make it clear that we know, oh, this is all crap. That Stacy and all this stuff, that was all just a big old show. That the fact that they are excluding us from everything, that we see all these movies with us not in it, and then we see Africans playing us, and we see Packy people being in positions of power over us. That all is spell casting. They're casting spells on us, and they are predicting the future in our faces. The future that they want, they are showing it to us, and we're seeing it, and we're okay with it. How in the world can you think that it is okay for you to go into someone else's country, take their positions in school, take their scholarships, get your good degrees, take their jobs, and then turn your back and try to put their folks in jail? How is that okay? You think that would succeed anywhere else in the world? You think we could go to Russia and do that shit? You think we can go to damn Pakistan and do that shit? Can we go to Nigeria and do that? No.
So let me ask you this. So do you think that since you have a so-called educated masses, those people who play like they're Greeks, let her, I mean, it's like they just walked her into the position. Is that how are those people used?
Because people don't understand your history. You don't understand who started these schools, who started these organizations, and why. Why did they want in 1837? Why were we being educated in universities? And if we were such slaves, we were so deep in slavery, how did this shit be happening? Don't you understand 1837? Think about the time frame. We got Nat Turner in 1831. We got the first Negro Indian University University in 1837. All this shit's happening during abolitionists and freaking Harper's Ferry. All this shit's happening. That's a lot of shit. That's a lot of directions they're going in to try to freaking confuse the Indian, to separate and confuse the Indian. Just like now, they wanted us to be educated, and they wanted leaders to be educated to keep us in submission. They had to create an elite class, a privileged elite class that would keep us confused and in submission.
So who is that class today?
Hence they financed the churches, and the churches, who developed the university? The church, the Methodist churches. Who financed that? They did. Why were the churches developed? To freaking control and manipulate us. Understand the history and the politics. It's a lot. It's a lot.
So can you give us? I know the church is like a dead end now. But those people who are in charge, how do we recognize them today?
The people today.
Yes.
I mean, it goes. What do you mean? How to recognize? Every church you go in, all these churches, every church you go in, their agenda is to keep the sheep in order, right? They to keep the sheep in order, to keep the sheep calm, and to direct them. And why are politics involved in every church? Because it's all together. It's all part of the same game. And then the people in church don't even realize they're being used. That all this is a part of a manipulation and control. And they keep getting poorer and giving their money, but yet they have nothing to show from it. If they had given their money into daggone the stock market like they gave to the church, where would they be? If they had given their money into some kind of like fund or some kind of credit union or anything, where would they be?
So do you think that's an answer? Credit unions?
The answer is for us to do things that are going to build us up, not tear us down. The answer is for us to work together, not apart. The answer is for us to not allow anyone to direct us in a way that doesn't help us do better as a people. If you are in any kind of organization, like even with these damn frats, what do? They take a ton of money from people just to join. What the fuck do they do for these people but make them feel importante? Really? Oh, maybe you have a connection because you know somebody who knows somebody. No, that's not worth it. Because guess what? These days, Negroes ain't really that connected anyway. I mean, you know what I mean? And half the time, even if you got a Negro frat brother, they ain't wanting to stick their neck out anyway because they just trying to keep their good little position. So what is the benefit of all that? What is the benefit? You putting out all this time and money and flossing and doing all this stuff and buying the gear and and you really got nothing to show for it. Another distraction. Another way to separate you from your brothers and sisters and your family. You run around chasing that. You ain't organizing as Indians. You ain't learning about your heritage. You're trying to pretend you're a Greek. Oh, that's working great. That's working fantastic. How is that helping your offspring? You organizing yourself as a Greek. How's that helping the generations behind you? You organizing yourself as a Greek. That's ridiculous. And they did it on purpose. And you've been duped. You have been duped.
I mean, that's one group. You got them. I mean, we're broken down into so many different groups. I mean,
Right.
oh man. you have a country of people broken down into so many different, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
Earlier, you were talking about we have to take action no matter what. Could you elaborate on that?
Well, I mean, we have to, because like we don't have a choice now. We have to take action no matter what. We have no choice in this matter. Because in reality, like I said, y'all don't understand. The civil war is coming, okay? And you need to get yourself, your clique together. You need to get your people together, okay? And it's really like I said, either you can wait and let the stuff happen, and then you trying to they're gonna react or be pulled, or you're gonna get pushed down the line, or you're gonna be pushed all the way off to all together, or you can take action. Because let me tell you, what they're doing is we're being marginalized anyway. Our children don't have the same opportunities that we have. They're not being educated at all like we were, okay? And in addition to that, as far as when we go into the job market, we're not even given the opportunities that our kids are not given the opportunities that we were given. I don't hear no hope except people working for Amazon. What the hell is that? Amazon or Apple? That's what they talk about? Damn. That's keeping hope alive. Meanwhile, we got people making money moves, starting daggone little factories here and there. The other people are doing that, but we're not doing that. We're just waiting for something to open up. We're waiting to vote for the right person, and then everything's gonna get better for us, like the politicians tell us. Oh yeah, you vote for the right person, everything's gonna get better for you, Dad. By and by, by and by. That's what they've been. We've been talking about by and by for hundreds of years.
I mean, can you believe?
By and by.
Can you believe this shit?
We gotta stop talking about by and by, and it's time for us to do something. You gotta create the change. Don't believe anybody who promises you change, because the change has to come from us. It's never gonna happen for us unless we do it. Let me tell you, the things that everybody else got in this country, they are making it happen. That's the same thing we have to do. We have to make it happen for us.
How are people coming 5,000 miles away able to come over here where they have no family, no relative, no spiritual support? How do they come over here and their children's children are set for life? Because
children's children. We gave that to them. That's right. We gave it to them.
And you want me to be nice to people who try to be something other than who they are? Real good.
You have to understand, and first of all, if you don't recognize the enemies that are okay, Frederick Douglass, all these people that we put up, daggone Marcus Garvey, we put these people up as daggone being our friends, our good people. These Stacey, all these people are fucking dupes. These people are not your friends. They're not trying to help you. Understand the people that you gotta be aware of look like you and act like they trying to help you, and they are not.
So a lot of us look at Frederick Douglass as this. You're saying he's something else. What?
Frederick Douglass was a paid man. He was paid. You look at the damn pictures and portraits. The man was compensated. It's the same thing that we're seeing today. We got Negroes who are being compensated to keep us confused.
You're absolutely right. We have David Corey here. He's saying something, and I noticed that this is something that the so-called African American or the Black community have a hard time with. He says Huey Newton was a con artist. Black Power, that whole Black Panther thing. was a joke. And we look at it like it was something wonderful and great for us. And
Right.
it's gonna lead us into our freedom.
Right.
And when you really look under the covers of what D Shines was doing, I mean, how could you not know? And this is
Right.
my how don't we know this shit, Lisa?
I mean, because we've been miseducated, first of all, and you're supposed to go to school and listen to your teachers and obey the rule, you know the golden rule, and doing your homework, learning in school. We gotta do all that stuff. We're supposed to do that. We got songs that tell us how to behave. I don't live by the golden rule. We got to do all that stuff. So we were programmed to do that. And yes, we were programmed to do that. And then we have a whole generation of people who were like given this whole false scenario, and they took it hook, line, and sinker. And they were also, you know, they were made to be, what is it? They were paid off. People get paid off by nothing. People get paid off by 50,000 a year, 100,000 a year. It's all relative in what it takes to pay folks off, because people can be satisfied with different levels of income, right? And hush money can come in all different levels. It could be a little bit amount of money to somebody, but there's a whole lot of money to somebody else. And it still has the same effect. It shuts you the fuck up and makes you, what does it make you? It makes you just satisfied, and it makes you what do they call it when you're uh, uh, apathetic? You become apathetic, satisfied. You don't really want for nothing. You feel good. You feel compensated. You feel good. I'm good. That's what we always say. Don't we say I'm good? That's what we say. We like to be good, okay?
Right.
And when we're good, we ain't trying to make no waves. We ain't trying to do nothing. We ain't trying to think about nothing. We just wanna play our games, play our music, do our thing, enjoy ourselves, feel good. That's all. We don't want to think about what's happening.
Right.
We don't want to think about what's happening. So I mean, that's how it happened. Our nature is a setup for us to be in this situation, because our nature is that really want to we don't want to play we don't want to we don't want to think that people are bad. First of all, that's the other thing about us. We don't want to think about how conniving and how manipulative people are, because we know how we are, and we like to believe the best of other people. That is also a part of our nature as Indians. But that shit got to change in ourselves too. We got to change that. We got to understand that everyone is not the same. Just because they look like you, that don't mean they are you. And just because everybody's human, don't mean everybody's the same kind of so-called human, even if you want to call them human, okay? If you want to call them human. I
So
don't know.
so going into that vein, Lisa, how do you know an Indian is an Indian? How do you? I'm an everyday person, and I'm walking around the city, and I have all these foreign people coming over here, and it's just their mothers and fathers who are first generations over here. But now they speak like us, they dress like us.
They do.
So
They
how
do.
how do we know who is who?
It is hard to know who an Indian is Indian. You don't. It's really hard to decipher. You're gonna have to ask the questions now, because you just don't really know. Like, because you're right. They watch our sports. You got friggin' Asians and sports commentators. I'm like, when does an Asian play football on that level? I'm like, what the world is? How you become an expert? As many Negroes have been watching and invented this game, and you mean tell me you got to go to it? Anyway, I don't want to think about that. But anyway, going back to what you said, is that how do you know? You have to ask people, and I do ask people. And you know what? I'm getting very militant about also not only asking people what they are and who owns the business, That's what I'm about doing now. Who owns this? Is this owned by Nigerians? Who owns this? And then you find out that the young boy is actually, his parents are Nigerian, even though he talks like us, vibes like us, dresses like us, had me fooled. So I'm like, what do? You got to ask the questions. You got to ask the questions. And the sad thing is, odds are, if they own it, if you see us owning it, it ain't it. The sad thing I'm gonna tell you is it probably ain't us. It probably is them. That's the sad thing, because we just aren't owning anything anymore.
So I just want to
And
make, I just want
and, and
to,
in addition, with this whole damn COVID and all this daggone war 1812 we just experienced, there's less of us owning things than ever. Like a lot of our businesses were the main ones that took the fall and all of this. And
so
because they tend to work together, they network not only just as a people, but they network their money. They do not mind. Let me say this real clear. They do not mind sowing their money into each other. They sow, SOW, their money into each other. They give their money to each other. They bail each other out. They invest in each other. That's what others do that we do not do. We got this in mind. You get yours. And we didn't used to be that way, but we quickly forgot how to be generous with each other. You know, and then why when you want to deal with each other, you want to be like, I need a discount, I need to use Cash App, I need to use this. Why you want to be all cheesy when you deal with your own, but you won't do that if you go into the daggone Firestone or into the daggone Macy's or whatever. You're not gonna try to chisel nobody down there, but when you deal with so and so, you're gonna try to get another price. We gotta do better. We gotta have value for ourselves and each other that we should have for each other and ourselves. What is that about? Everybody else is valuable but us?
I mean, that's that cone shit that these Afrocenters and all these shines have been teaching. I mean, come on, let's be real about it. What you just talked about, that Afrocentric movement, it got us off of who we are. So
Right.
okay, and you'll understand this.
Hmm.
When we were up in the cemetery of all those indigenous people,
Right.
that had an effect on everybody,
Yeah.
and
Right.
our cemeteries, our places where our ancestors are buried should be looking off it should be fire, especially if it's on the road, the highway.
And if it's behind a friggin' church. Hello? If it's church property. Hello? How do you go to worship and you know that somebody's dentures is just poking out the damn ground? Now, if you bit what was that? Cement a tomb for yourself, that meant you wanted to make sure your ass was covered. Okay?
Right.
That person didn't, they wanted more than just daggone wood in the ground. They made sure they got a cement tomb. So that means they really want to be covered. Do you think they appreciate that they freaking dentures and stuff is poking out for people to be looking at?
Right.
When people get dentures, they get it because they got a sense of pride in themselves, right?
Right.
Because they want to look a certain way to the world. They're not trying to be all broken up. So if you got your dentures in and you purchase these things and you purchase it, this person cared about that stuff. So you don't have no respect for the people that had passed before you to make sure that they had the dignity that they should have in their resting place. Where are the tithes and offerings going that is going to maintain that and make sure these people are covered up? And you okay with a pastor that don't care about that? You okay with that? I find that disgusting and outrageous.
Right.
When I discuss the fact that the Academics want to get ourselves, to get some grant money so we can actually do that, fix those things. Our cousin Furlong said at Air Hall that church needs to be taking care of that stuff. And I tried to defend the church. I said, well, they don't have a lot of parishioners there, and they're not probably getting very good offerings and stuff. But then I was like, wait a minute. Furlong might know better than me what kind of donations that they get from politicians, because politicians do attend that church.
Right.
And they do qualify for grant money.
Right.
And he may know about that as well. So
Right.
here I am thinking that they broke just based upon the parishioners, but
Right.
I don't know what kind of revenue they actually are taking in.
Oh, they balling.
So how come so many of our ancestors are defiled every daggone day? Just sitting there and just in a state of just defilement. And it's okay. And you sitting up there, oh, I gotta make it to church. Well, why are you gotta make it to a church that is defiling your people?
See you.
We don't even see that. And then is it because his family's not back there? Your pastor's family? Or is it just the fact that because he ain't really one of you? He just using you. And not even the fact that he's not from the Eastern Shore, but the fact that he ain't even one of you, as in his soul ain't right, as in he ain't a real Indian, as in he's an Indian social political overseer. He's a buffalo soldier. Hello?
Oh, yeah.
Hello? Speak
Oh,
the language. A buffalo soldier. Okay? He's trying to corral y'all up and kill y'all. He don't care about your people. I understand who you dealing with. Everybody that look like you ain't you. How are we going to get change if we are not willing to change? You have to change yourself. You have to change the way you see things and how you do things. So when I deal with the I am very militant these days. I will tell a daggone Packy, look, I'm an American Indian and you're in my country. So if I don't give me no tone. Don't give me a look. Don't give me anything. Because I'm going to go into a whole dissertation on your fucking ass today. Okay? That's what we need to be doing. All of us need to be giving daggone lectures. Every day. Every day, there should be individuals getting educated about who we are. That's how we need to be rolling. There shouldn't be a look, a glare, an attitude, anything. Fucking I daggone screenshot things of daggone white slaves and send it to people if they start acting stupid to me. I don't give a shit. Okay? Understand that you're a white slave. Understand that you are an immigrant.
right.
Understand that you could be sent away, that you are actually not only what you're doing is against nature. This is not your homeland. You got a place that you belong.
Right.
This is where I belong.
Right.
You are, if not for me, you could not even be here. Shit, this man is sleepy. I gotta get away from him. Yeah.
Yeah, you understand. It's one. If you understand what this is saying. All these people come over here and jump on you, slap the shit out of you, make you feel like you did something wrong, and they away from their home. How you feel about it?
You could never do it. You could never do that to them. You could never do that to them. Are you kidding me?
Oh, I tell because we get a lot of Caribbean brothers up there, And I'm like, brothers, I can't go down to Korea, I can't go down to Jamaica and tell those people nothing about themselves.
Right,
I wouldn't even do it.
right,
But anybody can come up to this motherfucker and tell us anything.
right,
Yeah, boss, you right, boss. I was thinking that myself, sir.
right.
Are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
And
Do not allow it.
we allow it.
Do
And so,
not allow it. Stop it. It's like even when I was sitting up there pumping gas, and daggone Packy was like, "Oh, you don't know how to use it." But his raggedy ass pump. And you know, whenever they buy shit, they don't ever make it better. And I'm not being racist. I'm being factual. They never improve shit.
who was that?
Whenever them Packies, they buy shit and they run it to the ground, it'll look like shit. They don't improve shit. And then if they try to decorate it, it looks like shit. Even after they decorate it, it's shit. Okay, so their raggedy ass shit. Okay, they raggedy ass shit wasn't working, and he's gonna be like, "Oh, so many people today know how to use this." Like I'm an idiot. I said, motherfucker, I am not an idiot. Let me tell you something. I'm highly educated. Besides that, I'm an American Indian, okay? And this is my land. And how dare you talk to me? Oh, you're an Indian? I took the damn motherfucker to school, okay? I took him to school. That's what I'm very interested in this. When you come back, I will have pictures. I said, yeah, you need to get some damn pictures, okay? When you come back, I'm
Yeah,
very interested. See, they already know who we are.
right,
They gloat on the fact that we don't know. But
right.
then when we know, they're gonna
I
move differently. And that's what we need to create. An energy that
these,
people feel they are required to move differently. We gotta demand it. And we demand it by first of all informing them of this is what we demand. Motherfucker, don't talk to me any old kind of way. This is
right,
my land.
right. I
You will not be keeping my people in jail for some fucking weed charges and bullshit. Get them out.
right,
Just release them. That's
right.
my Acamex. Take them out. Get them out of jail. That's the kind of shit you have to do. We have to be moving like that, where we actually are saying, this is what you don't do, this is what you don't do, and this is what you don't do, and this is what, and this buck fucking daggone dead shit that you be creating, that's some bullshit too. We ain't going for that shit. Your fake fucking money and your fucking daggone fake, all this stuff is a bunch of mystic shit. Fuck you. And the fucking bullshit you're making up doesn't apply to us. That's
Hey,
how we can do this. If you fucking wake up and do some work, niggas. Shit. Do it. We can do this. We can do this. But you have to actually be bold. And you actually have to do the work of speaking out and making moves. That's what you have to do. Stop talking to each other. Talk to them. Yeah, we're the Accomack Indians. Yeah, this is what we're doing. This is what we want. Yes. Yes, I'm an indigenous American Indian. Don't talk to me any old kind of way. I mean, on an everyday basis. They need to be informed. The world needs to know that there are masses of us informed.
well, listen, I want to keep this under an hour, and I'm coming up on that because I want to share this on many different platforms.
Gotcha.
Thank you. You're going to be back, right? You got to come back and talk to us about the Accomack Summit.
Okay, that's right.
Okay.
I know I still haven't done it.
Okay, so when you get, ready, let me know.
I sure will.
Okay,
Thank
listen.
you, everyone. I'm sorry I didn't get to read your comments, but I'm driving and I couldn't really see. But, thank you, everyone. Appreciate you.
Okay, and I just want to say to the chat, thank you guys for joining us. And like she said, this is your shit.
It's
Huh?
yours. It's yours. And you have to make it what it should be. You have to take it back. You have to take control. If you don't make the changes, ain't nobody gonna change. Ain't nobody riding up on no daggone horse. That's what they want you to think. Somebody's coming to the rescue. There's not a politician or nobody who's coming to the rescue. We have to rescue ourselves. And it starts with you. You, and you.
And you. All
All
right. All right.
right.
Thanks, love. Hey,
Thank you. Bye.
we'll be back real soon. Peace.
Okay. Peace.